Ta-da! Welcome back to I Don't Wanna Wait.
Wait. The goal should be to try and cut the other person off when
Always
they say that. Yeah.
done.
Welcome back to I
I
Don't
don't want.
Wanna.
Wait.
I'm Handren Seavey.
I'm Kim McVicar, and it's been a fabulous episode.
This week was fantastic. They went nostalgia this week. For anybody who doesn't know, we are on what is episode 5?
Detention.
6?
It's later than that. We're like past that for sure. We're
I'm so bad with numbers.
We're in 7. We're on 7.
7. Okay, 7. Or 7 for my hearing impaired.
That's an inappropriate finger thing you just did.
7. That's
I know you separated.
6, 7.
I know, but the way your hands were gestured, it was
7.
very close to the shocker. Very close to the shocker.
Um,
Maybe that's why that Friends episode is 7, 7, 7.
I don't know that. We're not watching Friends.
Yep,
okay?
You're right. You're right. I'm only watching 90s shows. I don't watch anything current.
So yeah, Detention. It's a nostalgia. They do fucking Breakfast Club. It's their homage to Breakfast Club.
Yeah, I will say it's the most teen episode they've done so far.
It's the most, just the teens, especially, not involving any adults really, except for that random teacher who they bring in for the one episode.
Mm-hmm, but I feel like it's like the most like what I would expect a high school show to be. Detention, people being mean to each other. Like there's no like, it just did not feel as bad as all the other ones.
It definitely featured everybody pretty equally and had them all come together, and they proved they could write like these intertwining episodes, which they really didn't do much after that. It was everybody kind of had their own story.
They proved it, and then they walked away.
We should see if we can get some writers on the show. I'm sure we could.
Totally.
Some writers at Dawson's Creek.
100%. Yeah, so this episode starts like every other episode. Joey and Dawson are watching movies. That's literally every episode. What an easy cold write. Like every time you have to write a cold opening, just find a movie that maps over the theme of what we're going with. It's pretty easy.
She gets up to leave, per usual. She's like, it's weird that I was here in the first place. I'm going to go now.
Let's have a tickle fight. They have a tickle fight.
Oh, that's right.
That's when it turns weird because we can't do tickle fights anymore. It's inappropriate.
I was only tickle fighting people I wanted to put parts of my body in theirs at that age.
I was not anyone.
I was not tickle fighting guy friends because I knew I would get called gay. And I was only tickle fighting lady friends that I wanted to be in some way, although I don't know what, intimate with.
I, in high school, didn't want to be tickled and I still don't. I don't like the tickling leading into, as I itch myself, into other things because it's very like, there's a power struggle that I have with it. I think I'm the Joey where I just want to punch you.
Yeah.
But I probably would have initiated it like she did. Yeah, I would probably initiate it.
That's the thing. Women always initiate it, and then they're shocked with the outcome.
Yeah, 100%. And Joey demands Dawson in the cold opening too. She basically says your dick isn't as big as Pacey's, and you're not as strong as him, and the only thing you have going for you is your personality. Oh,
yeah. This one they really take down Dawson a couple notches, which I'm not against.
Yeah, it was nice. Did you ever have that kind of moment where like someone took down, like, I think it's such an insult.
High school for me was a series of shamings.
We had different high schools. I just feel like telling someone, no, it's just your personality is why people like you. There's like, it's a positive that it's your personality because that's like supposed to be what it is, but that's such an insult at the same time.
It is, but also at the same time, I go, well, at least I'm good at making something. Because I created this personality that you like. That's how, especially in high school, that's how I felt. I was like, this is a manufactured personality to get you to like me.
Oh, I like that. I don't think I had
it was based on things I like. I was like, I'm going to be this guy because this is awesome.
I'm going to pretend. Yeah, it's just an interesting thing. But we all know Pacey is hotter than Dawson. 100%.
You think so? Is that I really?
Oh, I know so.
I get Dawson has his problems. But I never found that like Pacey was a sex symbol.
No, but if you had if you had to pick Dawson or Pacey, and please comment underneath. I don't even know if you can comment on a on a thing, or find us on our
Wherever you
Instagrams.
can comment,
My
yeah, make your
Instagram
voice
is
heard.
kim.mcvicar. Handren, what's your Instagram?
Handren Seavey, HANDRENSEAVEY. You're welcome.
Um, Thank you. And just really slide into his DMs and let him know that Pacey is hotter than Dawson.
I can see, I don't know. It just Pacey always seemed he was doughy. Neither of them are good at basketball. That is something we find out about this episode. And to that
But
respect, I go
Pacey
like,
says that, and that's what makes him funny. He's like, "But you're worse than me."
yes, it's true. But then what? I don't know. That whole part bothered me because I was good at basketball. I didn't play on the team, but I could have
Yeah,
actually
because you're
just played a pickup
how
game.
tall?
6 feet.
Oh,
I was probably
you're not
5'10".
6 feet tall.
I am 6 foot on the notch.
Ah, are you kidding me?
No,
Okay.
we can prove it. We will have a showdown on the show. Um, but I wasn't 6 feet until probably like freshman year of college.
I just always thought you were like 5'6", and I've stood next to you.
No,
I'm 5'4",
no,
and I just assumed.
you're like up to my shoulder.
I don't even notice. I don't pay attention to shit. I'm like, yeah. That guy's like 2 inches taller than me. That's fair.
No, that's what you think of me. You just think of me as smaller.
You're welcome. I told you I was Joey. I'm doing the same thing Joey did to Dawson right now. Uh, you should feel
Yeah,
bad about your height.
they let him know he has it. But as far as dick size, I don't know because that Oompa Loompa comment makes me think he does have a little dwarfism, and they notoriously have hogs.
They do call him
So
Oompa Loompa in his past, and he didn't like it. Maybe he got
yeah,
out of the lake when it was cold.
no, I think it's because he's got that big forehead.
Oh, okay.
That's why they call him Oompa Loompa. It has nothing to do with his dick size. He just doesn't like that because it's a very accurate description. It's a good. The fact that like as an actor he read that, I would be like a little like, hey, fuck you, man.
Yeah, that's a good
You did
insult.
an
Those write
actual insult.
it. They wrote it in for him
Yeah,
specifically. Probably.
yeah.
Yeah.
Or they asked him, "What did people call you?" I wonder if we ever have him on the show, we'll have to ask him.
Yeah, come on the show, man. So then Joey delivers some presentation, and some new character comes in that we've never seen before. This girl who's like, "Sorry, I'm late," whatever. And then a bunch of guys are like, "Wait, is this presentation about sex?" And Joey's like, "Kind of, but let's not talk about sex." And then the teacher never stops it.
No, no. The teaching quality at Cape Side High
It's
is
the worst.
subpar. They're fucking the kids. They're just letting them go wild. Later on, I don't know if you remember this, Dawson's dad ends up working there. He's an out of work restaurateur who ends
Stop
up there.
spoiling for me. I don't remember. It's so hard for me not to watch every episode back to back. Like stop week to week is the hardest part of this.
I know it is. And here's what I do. Truth be told, I will always fall asleep watching something.
Uh-huh.
I will start the next episode. I will start it 3 or 4 times throughout the week. Fall asleep within the first 2 minutes, but I'll watch that first little bit 3 or 4 times before I fully sit down during the day and just watch it all the way through. So I
Maybe
get the
I will
first.
fall asleep to it then, because I do like falling asleep to old shows, and
Yeah,
I've recently peaked at several of them. I've watched 5 times now, and I'm like, okay, I need a new one.
I might sneeze.
That's a sneeze,
Oh,
everybody.
Jesus Christ. Leave
Bless
that
you.
in.
Of course, I'm not editing anything. That's more work for me.
But no, so very personal insult. Joey does the thing. The new character who comes in, Abby Morgan,
Right.
all of a sudden introduced, knows everybody, big part of the school social life, never seen her before.
Never met her. What happened to the blonde girl that was the big bitch? She's gone.
She
We haven't
was in
seen
the
her.
in the beginning of the episode, remember? At the very opening of it, they're at the store. They're at the video store and she's
In
in it
this
one more
episode?
time. I believe that was the very beginning of the episode. The very beginning,
I think you're talking
Pacey
about your dreams.
starts at no, Pacey starts at Dawson and like he knows more and it gets Dawson pissed off and then that continues at gym class.
Oh, you're
I'm pretty
right.
sure.
Maybe.
I can look right now.
Okay.
Listeners at home, you're very upset at me or Kim, depending on who is right here.
God, I hope I'm right. Please be right. Please be right. Please be
Bum,
right.
ba-da-dum, ba-dum. Vote it. Put your votes in at home. Let us know who you
Wow,
think
this is a voting
is
heavy
gonna
episode.
be.
We got
I
lots of
know.
work for everyone to do.
I think we're really getting.
Very
This is
heavy.
called listener interaction.
Also, let's do one more thing where all of you just tickle a stranger. That way, you got 3 things you have to do.
Mm-hmm.
Tickle a
See
stranger,
how
see
that
how they
goes.
like it. Yeah, see how they like it, especially COVID world.
Um,
You get to play without audio so
Stop
we
it.
don't get in trouble.
Yeah. Did you just hear that? You
No,
shouldn't
I
have.
heard nothing. I heard
Okay,
nothing.
good, because it's playing right now, and I was like trying
Perfect.
to detention.
Yes. So, Joey, or are you just going to ramble?
No, sorry, I was talking my way through looking at the beginning of the episode where it started.
Is that how you often look at things? You say them out loud as you do them?
Yeah, I totally talk my way through shit all the time. Oh, then it goes straight to that, and then you were right. I think you're. Yep.
Yeah!
Then they're in detention. God damn it.
Crowd goes all wild. Ah, Kim. Basically, I was like, who's this Abby bitch who comes in looking like she knows everybody? What happened to the blonde girl? Did she get fired? Because we haven't seen her that much. We know that she works in the movie thing, but we saw her like twice and that's it.
And I think that she probably that was her shot those first few episodes to be that maybe C story sometimes,
Yeah,
and then nobody liked her, and they're like, we're gonna fucking change out this bitch.
yeah,
Um,
she's gone. So then
we
they had
had two Abby Morgans in my high school.
like real names or real.
Real names. Real names. Abby Morgan.
Were they nice?
They were both sweethearts. Yes. Different years. One was a year ahead of us, and one was my class. One was a twin too.
With
I forget what her
with their
sister.
Abby, and they were twins who
That would
were
be no. Then that would
born
be
on
very
New
creepy.
Year's.
Very creepy.
Can you have a twin born on New Year's? That'd be cool.
You can have different birthdays and still be twins. I saw the other day black and white twins.
Wait, explain to me how you gonna. I mean, different birthdays if it strokes midnight or like there's like a 7 minute difference.
Because it can be like a few minutes in between
Right.
births.
Yeah, but
So
it'd be
if you
cool if
do
it
it
was a
right
year
over,
different, like if it was on New Year's.
then you're dead. Yeah, that's a dead baby. The other twin would
Oh,
be the one that was left in there is dead.
oh, they just died like that. Well, that's good to know.
Anyway, so
You're
Abby
not
Morgan
having
comes in,
twins, are you?
starts.
I hope you're not.
No,
Okay.
we're not. She starts, meddling in, and then they go to it's basketball's next, and that's where Dawson gets. They all pretty much get detention.
Yes, and
The
how they get
opening of the
detention is
plot.
fun. So Joey does her presentation. These jocks are making fun of her. The teacher doesn't stop it at all. Joey then is getting food. They cut in front of her. She makes a snarky comment. They're like, "Hey, it's just," and they're very misogynistic in how they talk to her back. Where they're
Oh
like,
yeah,
"You want this? It's just like your presentation. You want to like suck my blank." Da, 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 da. And Joey's like, "No, I don't." And then she socks someone, and that was a glorious moment for Joey.
not it was Joey's finally shining.
I really liked that. I was like, finally, because she's always so woe is me. It was like, yes, get that angst out, girl, and use it on a douchebag. I appreciated that. And then Jen gets detention for not believing in God and saying a bad word, basically.
Yep, that was. I don't know that that area is kind of liberal. I mean, it's not. It's weird. It's white, but it's liberal in their ideas. I don't know that would have happened. I think they would have allowed somebody to
It's her bad
question.
words and that she didn't raise her hand.
Yeah, that I don't know. That seemed a little far fetched that you'd get a detention on a Saturday for. Did you have levels of detention?
Can we talk about that? What, first of all, what's with Saturday detentions? Is that an American thing? I've never, that's a
They
TV
have
thing,
it,
I
but it's
thought.
some of the most extreme levels you get to. You can get like in school detention,
Mhm.
after school detention. I think it starts with after school. You just have to stay in a room for 2 hours after
Which is,
school.
can they still do that now? Because if you actually think about it, it's like, no, I got shit to do.
Well, I think they can only do it if they somehow make it
They have to ask your,
academic related or whatever.
but don't they have to ask your parents? Like, I do remember I got detention a good amount, and I remember them being like, "You have to stay past class past 30 minutes," and I was like, "No, I don't." And they were
Yeah.
like, "Yes, you do," and I was like, "No, my mom's gonna want me in dance class, or I'm gonna get more shit." Like it was, I definitely had that.
I'm sure your parents could get you out of it. I think where I grew up, the parents were like, "Listen to the fucking school. What'd you do to get detention, you dumbass?" Like,
Mhm.
And that's a just yeah, I bet a parent really wanted to. That's a good parental question for like parents thinking like coming up is like, what if your kid gets detention? You don't think they should have it? Then you got to fucking go stick up for your kid and be like, get him out of here.
My mom always did that. We
That's
got out of
awesome.
detention all the time. And because I was going to dance, my mom was like, she's going to make money. Like, let her go. And then my brother used to get in trouble all the time, the one that went to prison. Maybe he should have stayed in detention, mom. But he
Well,
used to get in
clearly
trouble.
detention didn't help.
Well, he didn't go to it because my mom got him out of it. So it was
Oh yeah.
not lesson learned. But he wore these camo boots or whatever, army boots to work, to school, not work. And they got mad at him because it was a uniform school. And she got a doctor's note saying that he had fallen arches and stuff, so that he had to wear those shoes just because he was like, I won't. I remember that argument at home. He was like, I'm not going to school if I can't wear these shoes. It's that simple. It's like such a weird, it's the weird thing that you flex as a teen on like where your stances are. Like, no, this is it. This is the line.
You have your battles that you decided on that you have to pick, and you're
Mhm.
like, I'm not gonna let this. I'll take all the other fucking shit, but I'm not gonna let this happen.
This one thing. Yeah, it's such a
And
weird.
it makes you feel in control.
Yeah, it's because it is. A school does pick some weird, stupid rules sometimes. They're
Sorry, I'm trying
often.
to
That's okay.
get the
Do you
best view.
of your face?
Yeah, I'm trying to look the best here. Yours
Mine's
setup is
blurry. It's
perfect.
okay.
Um,
Mine's a little blurry.
go on. What are you saying? The schools? What?
I just don't understand Saturday detentions. I don't think you can do it. I don't think it can be done to this day. I don't think it would work now.
I don't know. I'd have to. Listeners, if anybody has kids out there or is a child, let us know. I would wonder because it was academic for us in the way of like if you were doing bad, not doing your homework, you might get detention to stay and do the homework that you haven't been doing was the
Right.
goal of it.
Correct.
So I guess they could say like if you're not going to work now, you're going to work. We're going to hold you for 2 hours after school and work. And where I grew up, everybody was like fine with that. I got suspended one time for 3 days. So that was, I
That's when
think,
you go
maybe the
home, and
worst.
then it's like the silliest because you're basically
Yeah.
getting vacation.
Yeah, and mine was for streaking too, which is like they just didn't know what to do with it. They're like suspended, I guess. I don't know.
Oh man.
And it was the last 3 days of my high school.
Oh, see, I had my senior year of high school. I got pulled in because I missed too many days of school because I never went to school on a Wednesday. Uh,
Oh,
and I
nice.
got in trouble. They were like, "Hey, you missed too many days." Also, why was it Wednesday? I was just like, God picked Sunday. I picked Wednesday. That's my day of rest. I just
You
never
just
went.
didn't go to school?
No, I usually did work. Like I caught up on homework and whatnot. I just
You
never
just
went.
stay
I just
home?
couldn't do 5 days in a row. Yeah, I just my mom knew she was fine with it. It was just
Yeah.
5 days in a row. That's a lot. Unless Wednesday was like a huge test or something fun, I just didn't go.
That's awesome.
I
Then you
mean,
just decided your senior year, like I just can't do it anymore. 4 this year.
I know. Oh no, all 4 years I missed Wednesdays. It was senior year
Okay.
that they figured it out because I moved schools. And senior year, as I got called in because they were like, "We can't graduate you. You've missed too many days." And I was like, "What?" And then they were like, "Well, honestly, apparently my whole grade, 85% of my grade would not have graduated if they went by that rule. So they changed it. Otherwise, no one would have graduated."
So you have a rule named after you now?
I guess that's so cool. Thank you. No, yeah, it
Yeah,
was
the
a
McVicar rule.
yeah, just
Your Honor, I would like to rule by the McVicar law of
yes. Everyone pick a Sunday. You get one day of rest, and you just pick
yeah.
whatever day works for you.
Sunday may be the Lord's day, but Wednesday is McVicar's day.
I would love that. That'd be amazing. Okay,
uh,
so they all end
I,
up in detention.
I was going to say I missed 3 months of my senior year because I just went skiing and I just said I'm going to do this shit and it's cooler. And they were like, do some work, and I was like,
Yeah,
whatever,
you did.
and I
You were
just
an
left.
athlete. I did the same thing where
Yeah,
when I would leave school, they would send me with packets of like the tests that were like the tests that counted for almost all your grade, and they'd be like, "Cool," and they sent it in a vanilla envelope, and my mom would be like, "Well, there's your textbooks, and you weren't supposed to use them," but it was like, use all the resources. My mom always says it's not cheating if you're just using all your resources, because in the real
absolutely.
world, you would
Also,
have access to those books.
did you just call it a vanilla envelope?
Manila.
Okay, I think listeners go back. I think you said vanilla
How are
envelope.
we going back again? You just want to win one thing today.
All right. Anyways, they all end up in detention with
Where do you
Abby
stand?
Morgan.
Where do you stand on Jen's whole like the death thing? That's a big
What?
that's a big topic. Like she got detention because she basically was saying she thinks assisted suicide, or not assisted suicide, but yeah, I guess it's suicide for like elderly is
Yeah.
compassionate, not
Yeah.
something you
I'm
should go
totally
to
fine with that.
prison for. I agree if the other person
Absolutely not.
is
You should,
cool with it.
if anything, give me my own fucking life to end. The fact that that is illegal in any way is ridiculous. Like even like that they would charge somebody who tried it and maybe failed. Like
That's
illegal
the
is so
silliest.
stupid for
That's
it.
the silliest is that it's illegal to
Yeah.
commit suicide is the silliest because then
Yeah.
you don't succeed and then you get in trouble. Well, you're already pissed that you didn't succeed. Like that's
Yeah.
a very weird rule.
And you'll kill a murderer. You're not against killing people.
It's true.
Like they have the death penalty. Like how? What if I want that? What
Taste,
can I
taste.
choose the death penalty without killing somebody else?
Oh yeah, I guess that's how you would have to fight it in court.
Yeah.
If you tried to commit suicide and you failed, you'd have to be like, "All right, don't give me 2 years in a mental institution. Please give me the maximum sentence for."
I will plead guilty to the death sentence.
That'd be so cool. That'd be really interesting.
They're like, we want to give you 3 to 5 months probation. I will plead guilty to the death sentence and nothing else.
Yeah. Then they all go into the school with their Saturday detention and the
Yeah.
librarian, who basically leaves them alone. Like again, not detention, just being like, "You guys have to be in this room. Do whatever. I'll be over there."
Which never happened for me. I think I maybe had Saturday detention once, but that was like you had somebody watching you the whole time.
You should. I think
Yeah.
she's supposed to be. She just chooses to catch up on her soap operas.
Which her soap opera will get to. I'm going to grab some coffee, explain what happens next. I can still hear you. I just, listeners can't hear me.
Okay. Are you leaving?
Um, I'm just running into the kitchen to grab more
All
coffee.
right, have fun with
I'm
that.
very
Apparently,
excited by this.
I'm not alert enough. But that's okay. I'll describe how libraries work. Go get your
No, not
coffee.
that.
He's sitting there staring at me, waiting for me to like explain things, and it's like, no, man, just go get your coffee. Then you can come back and explain what you want. But basically, they all get in. The librarian is, sitting there like, I gotta go watch my soap, which I love soaps, but they didn't pick All My Children, and that one was my favorite. And then they all sit down and kind of like start to share as teens what they're there for. And this new girl, Abby, is like, she's there because she did ecstasy and basically some sexual favors with the guys in the gym, which is like, what? That was like a big, oh my gosh, that's what we're talking about. And then Joey stalked a guy. I don't know if we find out right away, but we already, as the audience, already know this. Dawson, we didn't even get to this. Dawson gets detention because he is playing basketball with Pacey, and because his ego is so hurt from Joey in the cold opening and this whole calling him an Oompa Loompa thing, he throws a basketball at Pacey's face, breaking his nose. Which
And
is that
Pacey
even
is
possible?
yes, absolutely. And Pacey is fucking egging him on completely, just making
Mhm.
fun of him. And for what he's asking him to do, like, hey, fucking make me look good playing basketball. And then he just fucking starts like making fun of him, which is, as a comic, if that was comics making fun of each other, that would be a fun game of basketball. But you know, Dawson's a little gentle peach and he doesn't has no idea how to make
Big
fun back,
giant
even
peach.
though it's so easy. And yeah, he gets mad and you could totally break somebody's. I've seen that happen. Nose break with a fucking basketball.
And then Pacey's in detention with them all, and we don't know why. And that's where we're at. The librarian's like, "You're
Which
on your own. I'm gonna go rub one off in the AV the AV room." Is that what that was called back in the day?
yeah, audio visual, that sounds about right. Also, but in the library too, they would have like a TV. I don't know. Every school is different. Uh,
That's true.
but
Every school is
why
different.
why Pacey got detention is comes up later, but it was
Yeah.
so weird that you would get detention for that too.
Okay. So Pacey gets detention for
Hmm.
rubbing one out by himself in the locker room because
That's so
after his
weird.
nose got broken, the girls were nice and he got a chub and he was like, I got to get this out of my body. And then his
Odd
teacher
time.
walked in and was like, you have detention for this. Now, you would think that the teacher, knowing that Pacey had just got another teacher looked at for touching his dick, would have been like, "Oh, I'm out of here." Not, "Let's
Not
talk
what
about this
nothing
while
to
your dick's
do.
out,"
Yeah.
because you know that this is the specific student who's already had his dick with a
Hmm.
teacher. And now this dick
Maybe
has
it's
been with
him.
two teachers.
Maybe it's him. He's
Maybe
the predator.
they
Pacey
all are.
wants a teacher. No,
That would be
Pacey's the predator.
that's the U porn of Dawson's Creek. Pacey gets a teacher. It's just a dude running for women.
um, but yeah, so they're all in there, immediately angry at each other, uh, and the what ensues is it's like we must follow teen law, and teen law rules all is pretty much the next like 15 minutes.
I didn't understand why they paid attention to this Abby chick at all. Like they were like
Yeah,
listening to whatever Abby wanted. And they did so many personal stories in front of this new character, Abby, who they all clearly are like, Abby sucks, Abby sucks. She's kind of like a know it all slash like a gossip. So why would you say anything personal in front of her?
yeah. Uh, Also, like that character, I don't know. She does open up. But I feel like that's a little too much caracature
When did she
as
open up?
far as no, as in coming episodes,
Oh, okay.
they delve deeper into Abby. But
Inappropriate.
uh, no, I
I'm
bet she's
kidding.
been.
Kidding.
Um, but it was very one dimensional in this. It's just like somebody who's like, I'm here to push the plot along and to create conflict.
And so she's like, let's play truth or dare. And they're like, okay.
Yeah. And
And
then dared to do like, gee, I wonder what the worst thing that could cause conflict between these characters would be. We'll
of
dare him to do
course.
that, and we have to follow through. Nobody can fucking say no. Peer
That
pressure
was so
is,
weird. Like, did you ever? So Pacey has to kiss Jen, Joey has to kiss Dawson, and everyone's upset about it.
I've never done that with another person in the room. We just wouldn't do it. You'd be like, no, like you just wouldn't do that. You wouldn't kiss somebody else's girlfriend right in front of them just because you're playing fucking truth or dare.
Right? Like, it's like if I was in a relationship in high school, even if it was like a budding, and someone was like, hey, this girl's gonna kiss your guy, I'd be like, no, she's not. Like,
Mm.
no, that's not okay.
Yep. And they're like, we must do it. It must be done. And then, so then, of course, the retaliation. Pacey and Dawson finally kiss. This is their first kiss. All the tension in the world. They both explode in their pants.
And
Everybody's
she's got
wet.
her hands on his face, and it's very, and Jen knows that she loves Dawson. Everyone knows that she loves Dawson except for Dawson.
Yeah, he's fucking clueless, and it's so. And then the rest of the episode, it's so apparent too. Like, are you like? And she has to fucking. She even says it, and he still doesn't get it.
Yeah.
She says
Oh,
like, I
the
do have a
ending.
like, yeah.
Okay, so then they're like, "Wait, school's bored. Let's go somewhere." So they go play basketball because there's a lot. They rented out
Let's
the.
have our breakfast club moment.
I also felt like they just were like, "Well, we already paid for this basketball court for the whole episode. Let's just keep shooting in it."
And I do appreciate that it was a real basketball court at a real gym. So many shows of that time would have these fake ass basketball courts that look tiny because they were just built in a sound stage. But this was a real court on a real gym, and they were really bad.
That is true.
Yeah,
So then they play one on one while Joey and Jen sit side by side and
hash it out.
basically tell her, I don't like you for being so nice. Also, I'm in love with your man. That's Joey talking
Yeah,
to Jen. And Jen is just like, oh, I know what it's like to like somebody who doesn't like you back. I'm sorry. And that's fair to
it's
be mad at.
two things. Jen is very nice in this way, but also Jen, I think clearly is not that into Dawson. She's like, I'm not willing to come
You
between
still
an
think that?
age old love affair. I'm not gonna like if that's what being the other woman is right here. I'm cool with not being in this relationship.
You think that? I think she's saying basically like, Joey, I'm not threatened by you, so you can have a little crush on my boyfriend because it's not gonna matter.
I think that's how that comes out.
Yeah, because there
That
is.
feeling comes out as have a crush on him. If he goes for you, even I don't care.
Yeah, because it's an interesting. I'm trying to think if I've ever had an experience where somebody. Oh, you know what? I've had experiences where I knew a guy liked me and I didn't like him at all,
Yeah,
and like it just would be like, yeah, whatever, do you?
yeah, totally. Especially if they're nice enough about it. I had a stalker in elementary school. She made it real awkward all the time. Had no interest. She would every Valentine's buy me some crazy big Valentine, and I would be the only one in the class who got it. And I'd be like, "Well, I've never talked to you ever. We never talk, but you just do these weird things. This isn't awkward at all." And I had to put up with that for kindergarten to sixth grade.
Oh my gosh. I had a guy once on Valentine's Day give me like a $300 necklace. It was very expensive for like our age group. And I went
And you
home.
were you dating?
No, I didn't like this guy at all. It was like a diamond
Oh,
gold necklace, either necklace or bracelet. And I remember my mom being like,
oh,
"You can't accept gifts like this. This is expensive." And I was like, "I don't know what to do." And then 3 days later, he came up to me and was like, "My mom found out that I stole that piece of jewelry from her, and can you give it back?" I was like, "Yeah, of course." That's such a weird. He stole from his mom. I was like,
but he was really swinging for the fucking fences there.
"Yeah, of course."
You just took it and walked away, and he's like, my mom's gonna find out, and it didn't work.
Oh, I wish I remembered his name. Oh, insult to injury. I hope he's listening. I don't remember your
Mm.
name.
uh, but yeah, so they're talking, and then Abby comes over again and churns it up a little bit. Jen, always the peacemaker, trying to like, be like, what is your problem? Why don't we haven't done anything wrong? And same thing with Joey. What have I ever done to you?
And then they run back because the librarian's going to catch them.
Yeah.
And the librarian tips catches them in the hallway, which I didn't expect to happen. I thought they were going to get away with it. I really did.
One thing we went glazed over. Did you see what soap opera she was watching?
Yeah, I forget the name of it, but it wasn't All My Children.
Days of Our Lives.
Yes.
I was an avid watcher at that time also of Days of Our Lives, and
I watched
it
All My
was
Children, and Days of Our Lives was dead to me.
nice, nice. We're white. Anyways.
Yeah, so then the librarian is like, I know how to get you kids in 30 minutes. And she just tips over
Yeah.
her book of and
Cruel.
puts her foot on it. It's such a weird, bitchy moment where it's like, no, bitch, you didn't do your job. You should have been like, shh, if you don't tell, I won't tell.
Yeah, all of a sudden she becomes a fucking drill instructor in like Full Metal Jacket or something. And it's a very not even like do something helpful, but just like, I'm gonna make work for you.
It was so weird, so weird. And then they're like, Abby, you want to help? And Abby's like, no, I don't help people. Abby like plays that. She's the type of
Which
person
would
who
not
like is mean
happen.
to your face, but like so cheesy to elderly, like your parents or something like that.
Yeah, but also that wouldn't happen either. Like one of those, Joey just need that dude in the crotch and punch him in the face. Joey should have been up there using physical force to make Abby work. That shit would not fly in a group of people that I was involved with in high school. Of like, we all have to do this, and they're just not going to do it.
Oh,
Somebody would
then
end
I
up
wouldn't have
fighting.
done it either. I would have been like, fine, I'm not doing
Yeah,
it. And I would have gotten everyone not to do it with me just for
yeah.
it not to get done and be like, great, we'll
That's
see each other next Saturday.
and also let's all just fucking sit here and say it was because of her.
Uh-huh. I would 100% do that. That's
Yeah.
my stubbornness. I'd still do that.
Yeah,
But then they
probably.
all do it. They all put the things away and they all start talking about something. And then Joey is like, I'm never going to find. Oh, because Dawson's like, oh, they do this big exposition thing where like Dawson is saying how like he's a virgin and that's why he
Yeah.
doesn't feel man. And Abby's in the room. That's why I'm like, why would you have this conversation?
I know, very vulnerable talk in front of all four people that maybe was just a Dawson and fucking Jen talk.
100%. And then you see Joey in the background, like being like, he's just dispensing his love to her. And Jen's just standing there looking at Joey, being like, are you cool with this? It's
And
so
she
high
comes
school.
in, Joey
I
comes in
love
with
it.
the fucking Debbie Downer moment where she's just like, I'm never gonna find somebody.
Basically, they're all talking about sex because Pacey's like, Joey,
Yeah.
yeah, Pacey explains what happened to him, which is the whole jerking off in the bathroom thing. He's like, you think I'm such a hot ass? I'd have jerked myself off. But you still fucked a teacher, dude. You still fucked a teacher. Then Dawson's like, well, it's because I think I'm never going to not be a virgin, Jen. And then Jen's like, no, I do love you. Like, it's that
That's
weird.
what I'm saying.
The
She is not
pauses.
invested.
No,
She
but
is
it's fun to
not
watch.
invested.
I
Yeah.
love those relationships. The power grab is great. She knows he's safe for her, and so she
Yeah.
stays. And that's smart. She's
Yeah.
making sure that her longevity is good.
Yeah.
And it
She's
worked.
taking the reins finally. It turns out she hates driving, but for this relationship, she's really just waiting for somebody in a better car to come and pick her up.
And then Joey's crying, like literally crying.
Yeah,
I'm
just in
never
front
gonna
of
have
also
sex.
Joey, you know how you like all you've been through, you got to know how to bottle your emotions. Not now. Not now.
Not in front of all these people. And I swear she almost says like Dawson, I love you. And he's like, wait, who do you like?
He's still
He's
fucking
so dumb.
clueless.
She like 100% is like, I can't tell you who I love because it will change things. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, tap him on the shoulder. And he's like, yeah, what are you talking about?
Everybody else in the room knew what was going on, and they're like, "Wait, we're not going to say anything. He
Yes.
doesn't know what's happening here."
When does Joey and Pacey date? Don't they get to dating?
For sure. Now, big question
Because
is
if
it
it's
first
soon,
season
yeah,
or is
because
it
then he
second season?
witnessed this shit and then
Mm-hmm.
do they just date each other out of being around? Because that happens a lot in high
It,
school.
I, I think it starts physical. It starts physical.
He's abusive.
I, I remember the episode when it starts, but I don't remember if that's coming up or why.
I hope so. Where do you think the next episode's gonna go? What do you think is gonna happen? I don't.
Um,
What's the title? You always cheat with your title lookups.
the title is Shooby Dooby Doop Doop. Nope,
That's
that's the
the
wrong song.
title. Oh,
No.
I don't want to. I love singing.
Uh, I think definitely we're going to hear, hopefully, they don't just, because I know she comes back, but I think we hear more from Abby. I want to say that that storyline picks up somewhere at least.
Yeah, well, we also have to get back to the parents, right? At some point, like we need to find out what's going on with Dawson's parents because we
Yeah,
forgot about
which
them
they
for a
did
hot
have.
minute.
Sorry, it's playing in the background for me. It is called, no, not Detention. Yeah, they did have the one moment with the parents. I forget if that was this episode or last episode where they were like getting ready in the morning and they kind of brought it up and he was really shitty. He was like to stay with her and say those shitty things was like, this is how we're going to get through with it. It's just, when I'm done, being a complete douchebag to you. Boyfriend is the next episode. Hmm.
Oh, maybe. Okay, in my perfect world, Joey and Pacey. I loved it when they got together when I was a teen. I was like,
Yeah.
those are the leads. Like in my mind, I was like, why are we not? Yeah. So I'm hoping that they start to date.
I did not like Pacey in high school.
Okay.
Or Pacey's character in high school because I knew that kid and I didn't like that kid. Um,
I feel like you
I
probably were
wasn't.
that kid
No, 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 no. I
because that kid
wasn't
was
quite.
like the funny kid. Were you not the funny kid? Don't when you
No,
call Pacey the funny kid at school?
definitely. But like the act out funny kid, I wasn't that in high school.
Mm.
Um, at best, I was the snick or something in the back. Most of the time, I was just stick to myself and my friends and not really. Um, I don't know, but I like him who he becomes, and I do see a lot of similarity in who he becomes after high school because that was very similar. We had very similar lives in the post high school years as Pacey, and I did not have a similar life to Dawson post high school years.
I don't remember. I can't wait to watch.
Um, what was I going to say? What do you think is going to happen with we all know they break up at some point. I completely forget how, but Jen and Dawson is just such a sluggish relationship that is pulling nothing. At this point, they are realizing, I think when they first started the series, they wanted that to be the Ross and Rachel of it. And right now they're realizing nobody fucking cares about Jen and Dawson being together.
No, they did test groups of people like me who are like, Katie Holmes all the
Mm-hmm.
way. And Dawson sucks. Nobody likes him. So that's
Mm-hmm.
probably why they put Pacey and Joey together because those were everyone's two favorite characters.
It is
But it didn't
interesting
work
how
with
like
them together either. It was weird.
yeah, but how them playing out in especially these first 6 episodes, 7 episodes, they it maybe had in mind to be a show starring Dawson, but very quickly realized its strength in being an ensemble.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Sorry,
and
Dawson.
and that yeah, sorry Dawson, but also like thank God because you weren't pulling this along. So thank God you had 3 other people around you that would help out, and then it became that for the rest of the thing, and they would really, as we go on from here, it is entire episode lines not involving Dawson or not involving like
I wonder their
they do.
contracts. Like if Dawson was paid the most in the beginning because he was supposed to be the lead, and
Mm,
then if the others caught up season two, well, it wouldn't be till season three because I think contracts are in 3 years in the beginning.
yeah,
Back in the 90s, I think that's how actor contracts are, and the women weren't making enough money. But
and
let's
now
see.
too much. Go on.
Yes, everybody. Don't forget to send your messages to Handren about how much
HANDRENSCAVEY.
He lives at. No, I'm kidding. I
Come on over.
have no idea where you live.
I live on the west side of LA. Anybody looking for me? Yeah, but anyways, the ensemble came together quite well. But there is Dawson's Creek ends up having a series of these Abby Morgans that are in for 3, 4 character arcs. Some become whole new characters in it. Like as we go on, we know the next ones that get added that become pretty permanent are Jack and his sister, whatever her fucking name is.
I don't remember anything.
Yeah, we'll find out again. But they're in it for a few seasons,
I can't wait.
but it's always the 4 too. But Abby's the first one who gets added in. I can't wait to hear her story because I know it gets dicey. I know Jen gets involved.
Yes. Someone's got to get pregnant season 1.
That's one thing. Do they ever do a pregnancy? With Dawson's mom, but that's it.
That's not cool.
And they barely tackle drugs and drinking. None of them are potheads. That's one thing that bugs me. There's no potheads. There's no accurate descriptions
In the 90s, they would not have done that though. On a TV show. Because pot then was like the equivalent to cocaine, which it's not, but like
it's much worse.
Pot is the worst.
No, but wasn't this the same time as or maybe that was a little later, the one where Busy Phillips started, the Judd Apatow one?
Oh, I'm not sure. Well, look, I'll look it up.
Listeners again are shouting at their why can't I fucking I've watched all of it. But there they have like regular potheads and shit. It's where Seth Rogen started and James Franco.
All the pedophiles. I'm kidding.
Sorry, Momo. Any other questions, comments, concerns about this episode?
No, I think I'm excited to see the next episode. I'm interested in where it goes. And I love watching this show because it makes me think of my high school years that I have not thought of in forever. And my life wasn't that bad.
You're 20 years this year, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm 18 years. Yeah, it's crazy to be that far away of it now and still remember so much of it so vividly. Still feeling like it.
Yeah, still feeling like it could fit in those outfits. Let's start with like just the sheer weight of it all.
Well, everything was baggier then. Also, I am the exact same weight I was when I graduated high school and 2 inches taller. So I'm fucking killing it.
So that is only 5'2" in high school?
God damn it. I'm 6 feet tall. 6 feet tall, 178 pounds.
Handren has a complex.
Ready to fight.
Thanks, guys, for listening.
I don't want to wait for the next one. And Momo doesn't either. It's my dog. She's right here. Goodbye.
Fabulous. Bye.